they really thought that they needed, $100,000 to build, or that they needed, all this money. And the beautiful thing with this program is that the bank finances 80% of the project cost.
Welcome to the 200% Life podcast, coming to you straight from the Palm Media Lab studios here in Orlando, Florida. So before we go on, don't forget to rate, subscribe, like, share, everything. We're almost to the end of the second season of our podcast, and we're very, very excited to obviously finish this year with a bang. I'll give you some more knowledge tools that you need in your entrepreneurship and self-development journey, as well as start the new season here in 2024 in just a couple months. So today, I wanted to bring, again, this is his third time on the show, my brother and business partner, Yuri Gomez, the real estate entrepreneur. So
That's right.
So thank you for us coming back. And wanted to just, I think this market needs a lot of just creativity and a lot of new ideas to make money. And the reason why he's here today is a company that he is part of, or he's the owner and running it, sister company of ours, Queen Homes, has just launched a new program for those inspiring investors or even seasoned investors that maybe already you want to diversify your portfolio a little bit, and this is the time to do it. But I do want to speak to the investors out there, or the new investors who have the money or have maybe even properties that have equity, and how can you pull out that equity, and how can you make money and create a cash flow passive income for yourself for years to come. So that's what we want to start with. So Queen Homes started, he just launched, actually, what was that, a week ago, 2 weeks ago? The
company?
No, another company. Queen Homes has been around, but the new program.
Oh, it's been like 3 weeks now.
3 weeks.
It's been about 3 weeks now, and we've been building since 2013.
So 10 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's this new program that we launched about 3 weeks now, and we already have probably about 28 properties already that have been acquired by investors to start building for them.
So very good. So started with Queen Homes, a decade-old company building custom homes, spot around everywhere here in Central Florida and beyond. And so very nice product, by the way, as well, which you can come and see here in Central Florida if you wanted to see what it actually looks like. Mm-hmm. Updated everything, great countertops. There's no carpet in your homes. Right? No.
Carpet? Who does carpet?
No carpet in your homes, just tile or whatever material you want, sure. As well as modern finishes, 14-inch cabinets, the whole 9 yards. So that's in essence a great product. But now let's talk about because people want to build sometimes to live in it. But now sure. With this new product is now for cash flow, for passive income, which is This is the new generation of making money. Absolutely.
Actually, there's a lot of young people that are calling us about this. That got their feet wet maybe with crypto and with other things, and wanted to start investing. And maybe we need to start explaining why now, right? Because a lot of people may think, okay, you've been building for a long time. Why you started this now? And we started looking to do something like this for about 6 months. But we didn't have the financing. So if you're not familiar with how real estate works, especially on new construction, there's always been what is called CTP, construction to perm loans, which are for people that want to hire a custom builder, buy the lot, and build their custom home. But construction to perm loans have always been available only for primary residence. So you could do an FHA, RVA, conventional. And this is the first time that we actually, what we did is we negotiated with our construction lender that has a line for construction for a builder to go vertical, to give us, an opportunity for our investors to actually have the same loan that I have as a builder, but for them as an investor. And that's when basically, we were super happy to announce this. So now investors can actually build not a single family, not a primary residence, but actually a duplex, a fourplex, a triplex, or a single family for rental with as if they were builders. And part of the reason, of course, is because of the trajectory that we've had with all the completions of homes with this lender. They obviously know that we're behind them, and we're gonna make sure that the house is done.
That's beautiful. So if you guys didn't pick up on what Yuri just said is, the new wave of investors, so young kids with, that just tapped into the crypto not too long ago, who've tapped into e-commerce, artificial intelligence, are cashing in and saying, okay, I have these funds, I have this amount of money. Does it sit in the bank, or what do I do? Right. So now with this new line of credit or new type of financing available to build but not actually live in the property, it will allow you to do a new construction project with either a single family home, duplex, triplex, quad, whatever, which we saw some of these models a couple of weeks ago in your presentation, and they were beautiful as I was sat into one presentation. And now develop a portfolio where you have those rental properties that are going to produce you the passive income. And some of these numbers, which I don't remember if you remember them by heart, but with an exit plan of about 5 years, 6 years, I mean, you're doubling, tripling your money, basically by just having a property that's going to produce you passive income.
Exactly. That's the beautiful thing about rental properties, right? That you can actually build it. And the other key factor why so many investors are calling us about this program, because maybe somebody else is asking, well, Yuri, I can just go buy a rental property, a used home, and rent it. And hey, call Jeremy, he'll find you one. No problem. We can do that as well. The thing with the new construction is that you actually build equity immediately, because I am building basically at cost plus 15%. And that is an average about 20 to 30% less than what we call an ARV, or after repair value, what the home is going to be worth when it's done. So if you go buy a used home, obviously you may have some problems with leaks on the roof and things like that if you're renting, but besides that, you're buying a full appraisal. With the new construction, you're actually generating already equity on the property before I even give you the keys of the property. And that's a beautiful thing. And
that is because Queen Homes in this program is building it only at about 15%. What is the average markup on, let's say, a D.R. Horton, Lenars, like a regular retail construction?
You got to be they're probably around, I would say, 30%.
30%.
Obviously, they have overhead. I'm not going to say that D.R. Horton makes 30%
of course.
profit. They have, thousands of employees and stuff like that. But probably that is the market. And then if you're talking about upgrades, forget it. Upgrades are 100% upgrades.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, I remember building a new home, and the upgrades were like $60,000 because you're talking about.
That's where they make their money.
Yeah, of course, the upgrades. Yeah. They give you the toilets are probably for my 5-year-old daughter, and obviously you're gonna change them. It was like $250 a toilet. You gotta go. It was like $1,000 in toilets, and then the carpets. They give you
$1,000 down the toilet, like literally.
Carpets, they give you just the little thin cushion, and then you're like, this is what comes with it. But if you want the standard cushion, which is like this thick, it's another $1,000. And that adds up. Mm-hmm. So this is where building at a lower than standard markup can get into a benefit for you, which you just said, come into the property already having equity, which you can't really do on this, buying a retail. You can if you want. I mean, we do that too. If you want to sell, you want to buy, 3 or 4 your homes, we'll sell them to you.
Of course.
And then, we'll rent them out, etc. But now talking about doing it at a less of a cost, coming in with equity, and now renting it out, building that passive income on a brand new construction that, the investment is a little different than doing a resale, because like you said, you don't have to fix roofs, fix AC, nothing. Mm-hmm. You're coming in now with warranties. What's your standard warranty?
It's the same warranty, which is what it's FHA required. That's what Pulte, D.R. Horton, every builder gives you, which is a 210 home warranty. That means it's a 2-year mechanical that includes AC, plumbing, everything, and then 10 years structural, which is your slab, your roof, your blocks, and everything else. So it's the same warranty as a full new house.
So, jumping in, finishing the product, getting a renter in there, getting a tenant, and then starting building your portfolio.
Absolutely.
So we want to talk to two types of investors today. Obviously, seasoned investors, new investors. We already talked about that. But now we do have a lot of people that have their own lots, that you've already purchased lots throughout your years of being a real estate investor. And they're just kind of sitting there. Maybe you picked up a lot for $5,000, $10,000 in 4 or 5 years ago. And now, hey, listen, could it be the time to build? And the answer to that question is probably yes right now. So what do those type of investors need to kind of get started with something like this?
Absolutely. If you're listening to this, guys, or maybe you're listening, maybe your dad, your cousin, your brother, somebody has a lot. A lot of the people that are coming out with us, with a lot, they really thought that they needed, $100,000 to build, or that they needed, all this money. And the beautiful thing with this program is that the bank finances 80% of the project cost. The project cost is basically the construction cost and the land. So if you already have a land that is probably, let's say, is worth $50,000, $80,000, whatever it is, they're going to give you credit for what that lot is worth. So you're going to be bringing a lot less out of pocket. We have a lady, for example, brought us a lot in Ocala, in Marion Oaks. She bought it for, I think was like $5,000 many years ago. Mm-hmm. Now the lot is worth $52,000, mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people that have that. It's a corner lot. And when she got the quote from the bank, she needs to bring like $8,000 to build a princess home where she can have a renter there. So it's just amazing. So if you already have a lot, 3 things can happen. Number one, we can build on your lot. Now you may be saying, listen, I don't want to build. I want to sell it. Jeremy will sell it for you. He'll probably sell it to me because I'm always looking for lots. So just call Jeremy. He can do comparables on everything. Now, we have another client that bought a lot in Orange, not Orange County, Orange City. Orange City, and it's 3/4 of an acre. And he bought it just to have it for $20,000 like 4 years ago. We have engineers. We have an engineering company that does a due diligence for us. Okay. And we're doing a due diligence right now for that one. It's only $1,000. They develop for KB Homes. They develop for big developers. And they're doing this service for us to know if we need to split lots and things like that. Well, we did the study, and we can split it on 3.
Oh, wow.
Each lot now is worth like $50,000. So he paid $20,000. The lots are worth $150,000, right? Mm. Not only that, because yes, we can sell it, great. But now, because the lots are so much, he can build 3 houses with us, okay, and put very little money. I think it's going to be like maybe $15,000 because of how much the lots are worth. And he was just going to sell it. He everybody that has a lot gets these letters.
Yeah,
hey,
sell.
$1,000 for your lot or whatever. Mm-hmm. You need to do your due diligence on the lots, and you need to talk to the professionals that do this every day. But you could be sitting in hundreds of thousands of dollars on the lot that you have. And if you have an acre or more, sometimes we have another lady that came in with 3 acres. And what we're doing is we're splitting it on 3. On hers, we're building one house, a Buckingham Flex, which has an efficiency for 2 tenants. And then the other 2, she's going to sell, and she's going to pay the first one with that money.
Oh, wow.
So, you don't know what you could be sitting on, when you have a lot. So if you have a lot, or if you know somebody, definitely let's do the due diligence. It's not going to cost you absolutely anything if it's an acre or something like that, and we don't need to split it. Now, if we need to do engineering and things like that, we pay this company. So they are professionals at what they do. They check utilities, they check elevations, they check zoning, they check the parcel. They do everything for us in about 2 to 3 weeks. They meet with the county, and they will tell us exactly, you got a report this big that tells you exactly what you can do with that lot.
So again, you might be sitting on gold because that, there's a lot of people that I know that have picked up lots for $5,000, $10,000, 10 years ago, 8 years ago. We got to do due diligence. You've been saving that lot to see if, what you would do with it. This is the time to do it. You know what I mean? So now, with that, building that new construction home takes about 9 months? months,
8 to 12 months.
8 to 12 months.
Yeah, depending on permits.
You pick the plan that's already been approved by the county. Yuri has about 8 plans.
No, we're like at 12 now.
12 plans, okay, including a duplex, including a quad, and including a next generational home, which that generational home is, I don't know if you've seen or heard about this one, but it's a house that has a main house, and then you have a separate entrance and a smaller mother-in-law suite attached to the house with a kitchenette. Can't have a full kitchen if not, it's a duplex. And that can be used also for an additional income for the property. Or if you want to get creative, live in the little one and rent out the big one, whatever you want. So plenty of things that you could do. But so that's what you could do doing a new construction at a 15% markup versus the full 30 that you would get out there. So, and then secondly, we want to speak to those that, like I said, that are sitting on some cash, and and the bank is not going to do anything for you. Okay. In your presentation, I think you said, cash is not king anymore. It's cash flow.
Cash flow is king. Absolutely.
Cash flow is king. So being that we were raised that, cash is king, save your money, do this, the banks are not paying you the interest that a real estate transaction or a real estate investment could do for you. And so taking that money out and actually out of the bank and actually putting it to work into this new construction flip cash flow program that we're talking about would actually make more sense. Roughly on a standard, let's say Central Florida price point, what is the amount of money that somebody would need to get one of these done? Let's say on a standard home.
It depends. Let's say you don't have a lot. If you have a lot, it's a lot less than this.
Yes.
But let's say you don't have a lot. You're just started. Maybe you don't want to sell your home right now, but you have equity on the property. We have a program where in 5 days, we have what is called a 5-day HELOC. HELOC is home equity line of credit. And you can take $100,000 out, whatever, and start your rental portfolio, right? So the smallest home we have, which is a 4.2, it's called the Princess. It's a 4.2, 1,600 square foot home that can rent, depending on the area, between $2,000 to $3,000, $3,200, depending where you build it. That home right now, without a lot, we have lots available that you can do the whole project for like $75,000.
Okay.
And that's it. So $75,000 is the 20% of the construction plus closing cost and everything. And then once the house is done, we have a what is called a DSCR, which is another type of loan, where you're going to be able to cash out. You're going to be able to get 80% of what the house is worth when we get it done. And then you're going to take part of your money back out, and you're going to leave a portion there, depending, I guess, on the appraisal. And that's why we have seminars, by the way. So you can call Jeremy and he'll tell you which seminars you can go in. And so you're going to basically take back some of the money. You keep that house, and that house will give you anywhere between 6 to 8% a year. And that is the smallest home. In other homes, we're averaging about 9 to 12%. And then when you're talking duplex or even the fourplex, it goes up to like 25%. 20 to 25% ROI a year on top of the appreciation that you're going to get.
So incredible. So these numbers, and I believe there's a biggest transfer of wealth that's happening as we speak, in the next couple of years. And we've seen the charts that price points and equity has been building up steadily. This is not 2020 or 2021 where it was like something crazy like 25, 30% in equity, but your standard 7 to 10, I guess you would say 7 to 10 a year.
Yeah. Some of the years actually, the last couple of years have been 14, 13%, depending on the area, right? And again, we're talking Florida. I know people see you everywhere.
Yeah.
We're talking about Florida. And especially Central Florida. Miami's even higher. Miami's going nuts, but Florida, 13, 14%, something like that.
Yeah. So this is what the main message of today's episode is. Again, if you have your own lot, or if you're sitting on some cash, or number 3, which is if you do have maybe a home. We were talking to people recently that bought their home in 2012, 2013, 2015, 5 years ago. And now their house that they purchased at $250,000 is worth $450,000. And it's what we call debt equity, meaning that you just have it there. And again, we've been taught in our years that, pay off your house, don't owe anything to anybody, where you do have, if you're working a 9 to 5, if you're working even in your own business, you might not have that quick return by actually earning the income versus having that real estate investment. So if you do have a couple of $100,000 sitting there as debt equity in your home right now, this will probably be the time to pull it out and actually put it to work. Okay. So maybe it's not the time, in your opinion, to sell it because you are happy where you're at, or, financially it doesn't make sense. But you do have that equity you can pull out to put to work into an investment like this. So those are the 3 type of, people that we're trying to speak to today regarding this, because the new home construction cash flow is something new and fresh, and it's only exclusive to Queen Homes right now, as we know.
As far as I know.
As far as we know.
As far as I know.
So, and you're lucky enough to be here in this podcast that you have a connection to actually getting into something like this. So, we're, again, big on social media. Yuri is YG, the real estate entrepreneur on Instagram, right?
That's right.
All right. So we're going to tag him onto this as well. But definitely, if you are looking into doing something like this, again, the biggest wealth transfer is happening as we speak right now. So people thought in 2020 everything was going to crash because of COVID, and the complete opposite happened. Now you're looking at massive equity builds in the last 3 years happening. So this is why jumping into something like this, if you've been waiting to actually do something in real estate and build a portfolio aside from your primary residence, or maybe you don't even have one, maybe this is the time to start. We have a lot of young kids still living with their parents and are making boatloads of money through e-commerce and stuff like that. This is the time to kind of get into this type of investment and start building that wealth and that life that you really want. There was, and we'll end with this, there was a kind of like a scenario you put, if somebody were to build a duplex, 1 duplex a year in 5 years, for the next 5 years, meaning you'll have a total of 5 duplexes. Mm-hmm. What was that number, if you remember?
If I'm not mistaken, I think it was something around $3,500 a month of income, and net worth of the 5 properties about $2 million.
Okay.
When you hold it for 5 years. I mean,
so yeah, you can't do that in the bank. You can't do that.
Not at all. Not at all. As we were talking on the seminar, the bank pays you 0.012 is the average checking account interest. So, and whatever they pay you, you got to pay taxes on that too. And that is crazy. And to finish, was talking Jeremy that, we are maybe a little old school, and we come from other countries where always, like we're from South America, we're from Peru, and always the goal is to pay off your house, right? Yeah. And then you work for 30 years to finally say, I don't have a payment. But, and hey, if you believe on that, respect, more power to you. God bless you. But definitely, if you do your research, the wealthy people that you see out there, the last thing they're thinking is paying off their house. What they're thinking is how they can create wealth and passive income. And the way that they do it is by having portfolios of rental properties where they have $3 million on equity, $10 million on equity, $20 million on equity, and they take that money out and they live with that, because we haven't even talked about the tax advantages. But when you take money out of properties that you own, it's a non-taxable event. You don't pay taxes on that. It's not like a W-2 or a 1099. So this is a reason why. There's a reason why Uncle G is so big. It's all about rental property and keeping the properties for 5-10 years. Obviously, he's doing, big apartment complexes. Give me a year or so. We'll get there. But, it's really the same concept of being able to hold real estate for at least 3 to 5 years. But again, once we're done, and if you want to sell it, it's yours. By the way, the lot is on your name. The construction is on your name. The title is on your name from day zero. So once we're done, we give you the keys, and you do whatever you wish with your property.
So let's hopefully start some thought-provoking, thoughts for some of the listeners out there, and hopefully get started into building that real estate portfolio. And the idea with this new program is actually to do one And then there's a way, which we won't get into right now, but there's a way to then, when you do that final loan to keep the property to rent it out, you get some of that money back to then go ahead and pair that up and then do the next one. So that's the idea. The motto is to build,
rent, cash out, and repeat.
There you go. Okay. So again, starting with one, then getting on to the next one, start building that portfolio, having 3, 5, 6 properties in the next 5 to 6 years, and then start really building the life that you really want. This is the point, again, of 2023, you're into 2024, and seeing everything in real estate kind of increase for the benefit of the property owner, and this is the way to start. So thank you so much for joining us. I know we both got places to be.
Absolutely. You got more interviews. I'm going to a gala. I don't even know where I'm going or what is it about. Janita just told me you have to be on a suit by 5:30. All right.
I love it. And that's about 10 minutes from now. So we'll get to started, all right? But guys, don't forget to rate, subscribe, like to the 200% Life podcast, and we'll see you on the next one.